do you think it's so hard for us to see people that have led post sales to be able to do all of this? Because I've seen one-off examples of people that have become the ultimate go-to-market leader. In these cases, they were actually called the CRO, but they came from customer success into it. What was interesting about their paths was there were two people I can think of. They both managed companies at 100 million in ARR. They were both in those companies for 10 plus years. And so maybe the second part of the question is, or maybe the more interesting question is, for these type of transitions, CMO to CRO, CCO to CRO, is it more likely to happen if you spend a long time within a company versus when you're going to a new role outside?
I mean, I definitely think that being within the company and getting promoted from within is probably easier because, to your point, Asid, there's like a risk management element where, at least in that case, the CEO or the founder is dealing with a known quantity, right? There's a trust that's already been established, which I think is so important to making that leap and believing that somebody could change roles and be successful. So Latney has been at Sixth Sense for several years and now has taken on the CRO role. I don't think it happens in every case, but I think it's much more likely because of that trust factor.
The other side to that, though, is what if you have to pull back and it's not working out? You've given a leader that you trust heavily in a new responsibility. How do you pull back on that?
You fire them.
Yeah, I think you fire them.
You get promoted to the point of incompetence and then you're out, right? Like
it's a Peter Principle situation. Is that what we're
probably?
Or I've seen companies that, I mean, honestly, create roles like chief strategic officer or chief evangelist.
Evangelist.
I think to your point, Kathleen, and also to AJ's point, like I think the reason that we've seen on the margin, or at least we can recall people that are making it from CMO to CRO more recently, is because of this emphasis on go-to-market, this idea and a broader understanding that there is it's what we talked about last week. Last week we talked about how the classic salesperson was driving up. The classic sales leader was only focusing, when we talked about Mark Hosselglow's LinkedIn post, the classic sales leader is only focusing on new business, doing whatever it takes to hit the number. Extremely short-term focus, but with a high sense of urgency, not really understanding that recurring revenue is driven by recurring impact, as our friend Jocko would say, and that there needs to be a comprehensive view that aligns the customer from the minute that they hit the website pre-sale to the minute to 5 years later when they've renewed 4 subsequent times after the first sale. And I think, to your point, Asid, the sales leaders that have emerged or come up, through the ranks over the last couple of years are they've only been taught that you got to hit the number, you got to hit the number, you got to hit the number, and the number's always been a new business number. Yeah. And so they have. Now that's I think if we were to like stereotype, like what's the risk of sales into CRO is this inordinate short-term focus. Yeah. You never were it was really that, and especially it's like you worked at Salesforce, you worked at Slack, like you were given a great product, you had product market fit, and really your expertise was rallying the troops, building a class of frontline managers that could have really good in-depth one-on-ones and pipeline reviews, and getting really, really good at forecasting. And I think the thing that happens in marketing is that you have to have this multidisciplinary approach because marketing is demand gen, marketing is brand, marketing is content, marketing is still how much pipeline did you give me and how many leads, but it's also what does the website say and what is the logo and what's the color palette that we're using. And so I think marketers do have a longer term focus. And I think exactly to your point about CCO, I think the time horizon is the biggest question mark. It's what is the hesitation about promoting a marketer to CRO? It's that they've fought so many battles with the CRO about the CRO being short-term focused that they've overcompensated, and everything is 6 to 12 months. And they don't understand that we still do have to hit the number. We still do. And on the sales side, it's great that you can get all these salespeople to be really motivated and energized, but you don't understand how much money we're spending. You don't understand unit economics. You don't understand what's going to deliver retention. You're not focused. You don't even have a point of view on marketing, so that you can't really coach the marketing department if you own marketing on what they're supposed to do or what the message needs to be, unless you're the founder like AJ, in which case you're a great head of marketing and a great CMO. But so I think and then the CCO, I can imagine being even more to the extreme on constantly fighting about retention, constantly talking about ICP, to the extent that everything is like 12-month cohorts and doesn't have that, we got to do this today. And I think the biggest benefit of the sales to CRO track is that sense of urgency of, and that's why, well, who are the two people that we're talking about? Latney and Andrea. And Andrea was telling me that at Help Scout, she's like, I just talked to everybody. We have a no miss mentality. They better not effing miss this number. I'm going to kick their ass. Latney, the same thing. You know, Latney has a number in front of her. We all know that Latney will do whatever it takes to hit that number. And the concern on putting marketers into the CRO is, do they care to that extent that Latney and Andrea do? And of course, the concern that we have putting a VP of sales into the CRO is, do they have any friggin' clue how to run the actual business? Or are they only just thrown money at a problem and hope something comes out on the other end and never been accountable for the result? And that's why on the margin, I'll wrap it up, but on the margin, I'd rather have Latney and Andrea. I'd rather bring somebody from marketing with a sense of urgency, because I think that's easier to find than a sales leader that has a multidisciplinary approach to the member journey. As
wait,
AJ said.
hold on. I have one question. I got a question. Austin, I have a question. This is such a great topic. Do we have to change the name of the podcast from Top Line to Bottom Line? Is that what we're saying?